Hello, this is Paul Jasmine, and it's Friday, December 27. It's 10 o'clock. Um, I totally don't have my other camera for this video blog, and I know the lighting here doesn't work that very good. But anyway, today I'm not supposed to use media, but honestly, at this point I really could care less. Honestly, I mean, I love my job, but like at the same time, it's what happened today really left a very sour feeling inside me, and it's something that I really want to take out because things like things like what happened today shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen to me. Shouldn't happen to anybody that works in retail. You know, um, because it is unfair. It is totally completely unfair. Anyway, let me alright, let me take care of something and then I will go back into a video blog. Alright, that's a little bit better. Alright, so going back to what I was saying. So yeah, what happened to me today shouldn't happen to me or anyone who works in retail. The first thing that I want to start talking about, I want to talk about what is bias and what is a stereotype. Let me get my book on management, which should be here. Yeah, where did I put it? That's my book. Here. Where did I put my textbook for my class? Okay, it's here. Alright. Alright, got it. So, that semester I was taking a class on contemporary management, on organizational management. I love the part of diversity. Where in 2013, we know that in this country, in the United States, I live in New York, in this country there's a lot of diversity. People come from different backgrounds, and there are some companies that accept diversity. My company is one of them. My company have one of their values that I like is respect for our people. They not only have that value, but they also have employees. They make sure to have employees that speak other languages in the store besides English, so that way they can access and have can provide better customer service to customer that speaks that speak a different language, or that may not speak English very well. So they will have somebody that speaks Spanish, so that way that person, or a different language, so that way that person can help the customer when they need them. And I think that's very important because globalization, people moving from different places to search for a job and a better life. So in my opinion, that is really important. Yet it is surprising that some customers may not agree on that. And today I had to, before I get into the incident, I'm going to find the definition here of bias. So what is bias? A bias is the systematic tendency to use information about others in ways that result in inaccurate perceptions. A bias can lead to a stereotype. And what is a stereotype? A stereotype is, according to the definition of my textbook, a stereotype is a simplistic and often inaccurate beliefs about the typical characteristics of a particular group of people. Alright, having said that, let me talk about the incident that happened to me, because this is a great example of a person bias and stereotyping. So my company, I have this badge that says that I speak Spanish. They gave me that because by me having that with me, if a customer comes to me and they speak Spanish, they will more likely feel free to speak Spanish, and that way I could help them and, in more ways than maybe speaking English. If they don't understand English, I'll be able to help them more because I can speak Spanish, I can speak their language, and they will feel more comfortable shopping. However, when this customer, in this case, sees my badge, this particular customer today looks at me and tells me, "Oh, so you speak Spanish? I don't think you are going to understand." Bias and stereotype. The bias comes because he has created a conception that because I speak Spanish, I am not going to understand what he's trying to say or what he needs. The stereotype is assuming that because I speak Spanish, I don't know any other language other than Spanish, which is not true. Well, I walk away. I call the associate to see if he knew where the product that the customer wanted. And from this point on, I have to admit that I could have avoided the final result if I hadn't done things, if I had done things different, you know. But anyway, after that, I decided to go back to a customer to tell him where the product that he was looking for was. And when I go back to a customer, the customer crudely tells me like, "What are you talking to me? This is America. You should speak English. Here the language is English, so you have to learn to speak the language. And actually, I feel like you're being harassing me right now." And that's when I lost it. And I have to admit that I get a little bit of anger issues, and maybe that's why in pro wrestling was for me a little bit more easier to keep calm, because I felt tempted to just pow, but I didn't do it. I ended up telling the customer, "Fine, go fuck yourself." And I left. And after I left, I went to the back office, and then it hit me, you know, the fact that the customer told me that because I speak Spanish, I wasn't going to understand him, or understand what he needed. Really hit a spot deep inside me, you know, because for starts, I'm educated, and I can start to understand English very well, you know, and the fact that he basically insulted me, you know, it felt really it felt really bad, honestly, you know. It felt really demeaning. It felt really I felt like I felt really, you know, in the bottom of like if like just because for me being different, or you know, like I don't have any value, you know, to society, you know. And it did hurt, you know, and I ended up crying because I felt really rejected. At the same time, you know, I know that looking from a third person perspective, you know, I did make a mistake, and I think if I would have done something different, I could have avoided me losing control over myself, you know. At the same time, this put me to think about customer service, you know, and we may have heard about that the slogan that the customer is always right. I think corporations should revise that, because honestly, you know, I think if a customer is going to treat the employees of your company in negative ways or be rude to your employees, I think that shouldn't be allowed, you know. And I feel like any associate in a store, or even the manager, when they see that happen, they should step in to help that employee, because for starters, we don't get paid enough. You don't get paid enough in retail, you know, and when you are being treated rudely by a customer because either number one they feel superior to you, or they feel that they're entitled, or they feel um, that they are allowed to do that kind of behavior because they know that you have to keep yourself calm. I think it's wrong. It crosses a line. Okay, fine, we have to treat everybody with respect, but the customers are, we have to take whatever the customer throws at us. That shouldn't be the case. If you're a customer, you should behave yourself. If you want to be treated with respect, treat the people that you're dealing with respect. I think it's a business thing. You want to treat people that you're dealing with respect, so that way you they feel also respected, and they feel more um, more willing to help you. Because certainly as a customer, you should know that things are not perfect. This is not a perfect world. There are going to be always mistakes. Things are going to happen. But for you to take the anger on another human being just because you've been having a bad day, or just because you're just hungry, or because you are biased against the people that are working in retail, doesn't mean that doesn't help. It's wrong. It's totally wrong, and it shouldn't happen. So I think that should be somebody should modify the rules of retail work, of customer service, to allow for to require customers to also be respectful to the associates. And if they don't comply with that, then they shouldn't shop. They shouldn't be in the store. And respectful in regards to treating the associate with respect. If the associate is from a different culture, respecting the fact that that person is from a different culture. Not go like this customer telling me that, oh, we're in America, you should speak in English, because that's really highly completely rude, and that is the worst thing that somebody can say to someone else. Besides, I am Puerto Rican. I am a U.S. citizen because I was born in a territory, and I got the same rights as that person. And certainly that person was being totally, completely rude, biased, and with a lot of stereotypes. And I'm not trying to justify my reaction, but honestly, he crossed a line there. He made it very personal, and I don't like when people make things personal in that way, because not only it offends me, but it also it's something that shouldn't be allowed. If you have a problem against somebody because they're of a different culture, so what? You're in a public place, and you should be respectful because I work here. And if I work here, it's because I got hired, because the person that hired me knows that I have certain skills that the company can benefit from, and not because of your limited views of the world, basically. Anyway, this is it for now, and any comments, feel free to post here, and I hope to hear from any of you. Peace.